Welcome into Clear Picture Financial. Your host is Jason Noble. You can find him at Prime Capital Investment Advisors right here in Charleston. Fiduciary advisor, yes he is, holds his FINRA Series 66 securities registration, certified financial planner, and retirement income certified professional with over 18 years in the financial arena. And again, folks, that is always about helping people get ready for retirement. I'm Morgan Patrick, consumer advocate. Each and every week, it is always retirement topics. If you have any questions, we have a really cool thing we do here on the show, and that's we open up spots on the calendar with Jason and his team at Prime Capital Investment Advisors, and these appointments, no cost, no obligation, no pressure. So it's no secret, Jason, that prepping for retirement, it can be a bit of a challenge in and of itself. I mean, again, this is a big deal. A lot of topics about finances. And when you talk about money, that brings stress to a lot of people, some insecurities. So we wanted to kind of get into some of this and talk about it so you feel more comfortable when you talk in a group setting about your monies as you get ready for retirement. There are many misunderstandings that are out there, and we want to clear some of those up. And we want you to relax and feel free to talk to a retirement coach. And we've got one right there. All right. So the justification, a lot of people kind of fall into this trap, Jason. It's just all going to work itself out eventually. I don't need a plan.
Yeah, I would just go back to if you don't have a plan, you plan to fail. And finances and your financial future, if they don't take some sort of priority, your retirement account isn't just going to do its part magically. Understanding why someone would be so, staunchly resistant to the assistance of a professional is really tantamount about the success and potential future success associated with the individual on this particular matter.
I mean, think about it, folks. I mean, having a plan, working with a professional, just saying it's going to work itself out, folks, you're an avoider. And again, I think a lot of us are in this category. We're intimidated to sit down and talk with a professional about our financial future because, I mean, it's a very sensitive topic. We understand that, but you've got to kind of break through that. And we're here to help you do it. We have spots on the calendar with Jason Noble and his team where you can do this with no cost, no obligation, no pressure, kind of break through that ice and get you further down the path towards retirement planning and your retirement. So here's the next one. And I've heard this before. And I can understand why. I mean, you've worked where you've worked. You have a 401k through work, and you feel like, you know what? I'm good. I've got my 401k, right, Jason? I mean, that's a retirement plan, isn't it?
Well, I want to be very clear. The reality is a 401k is not a plan for retirement. A 401k is just really an investment vehicle. It's tax code law, to be very clear, right? Of like how it works with taxes and how the money starts to grow. But the solution, in my opinion, is the average retirement plan might consist of a 401k for sure, but that has to work in conjunction with other investments and savings vehicle to really create a comprehensive plan, not just about how to turn those assets into income flow, but then also how do you address for inflation, healthcare costs, longevity risk, and all the other things that come into retirement planning. So it's a start, but it's not the end all and be all. It is not a plan.
No, and you just mentioned so many different elements, and we often use the analogy of the puzzle when it comes to retirement and retirement planning. You got to make sure, one, you've got the pieces. They fit together snugly, and your puzzle is going to be custom to you, unique to you, so you need to have a plan that's just as custom. Very important. We're kind of going over today just dispelling the myths and excuses and justifications on why people delay or just avoid sitting down with a retirement professional, a planner, a fiduciary. So this next one, Social Security. I've got Social Security. That's going to be enough for me to live on, so I don't need a plan.
Well, I'll go. The reality is Social Security was always intended to supplement your retirement nest egg and not be the entirety of it. However, like the solution to this, though, is preparing with a financial planning coach can help you not only, I would say, maximize the amount of your benefits that you could receive from Social Security by multiple claiming approaches and strategies, but also help walk you through the process of exactly how much your benefit could be, depending on your estimated retirement date.
I mean, think about it. I mean, this is your Social Security. You've worked your entire life. You've put into this system. You're going to be getting it back, but it is going to be just a portion. It's going to be a part of what your retirement is, and having a plan and how that's going to incorporate to the rest of your portfolio. I mean, absolutely vital. All right, this next one, and again, we're going over and dispelling myths, excuses, justifications for delaying or possibly, just not seeking financial help, professional help when it comes to your retirement. I'm not going to be spending this is the justification. I'm not going to be spending as much in retirement as I do now, so I will be able to live off what I've saved thus far. So therefore, I don't need a plan.
Yeah, I'll go one more of the reality of this situation is that is simply just not the case for many folks. People are living longer and are just more vital in retirement now than ever before to make sure that we have a proper strategy in place. And if you assume you're spending significantly less money when you retire, well, you're really leaving a lot up to chance. And while spending might slow down later in the later years of retirement, what we've seen through a lot of studies, and as being a retirement income certified professional, we actually see the first phase of retirement called the go-go phase. Spending stays the same, or if not, goes up a little bit. So that has to take into account. And I'll say the solution to this is, and a key ingredient of a good plan for retirement is really looking at cash flow, retirement cash flow, money in, money out, and what's going on with the difference. And that component of a comprehensive financial plan is going to be essential to the success of your retirement. And a financial advisor can assist you in this process and offer some helpful tips to guarantee your nest egg isn't going to be in jeopardy as you head into retirement. Let me say this, folks. You do not want to be on the day of retirement taking a look at a statement, so excited that you're no longer working. You pull up your financial statement and you've been betrayed by the market because you didn't have a proper plan in place. And it may cause you to either go back to work or delay retirement or significantly reduce your spending in retirement. This is why people reach out to us proactively so we can start making sure we pack the gear to not just get up the mountain, but also back down the mountain. So if you're sitting there listening and you're going, okay, you know what? I'm resonating with what Morgan is saying. I've had these things on my mind.
Sure.
And what caused me not to reach out. This is where I want you to take the action and reach out so we can start having these conversations and putting a plan in place. And instead of avoiding this, let's address it and let's making sure that you are navigating towards your financial goals in the best way possible, which is making well-informed decisions with prudent advice.
Tell you, having a plan, having that ease of mind, knowing that you're walking down the path, and we get it. I mean, it's a very sensitive subject. It's your finances. We do tend to procrastinate, put things off, avoid certain conversations. Maybe we're a little bit embarrassed. Maybe you just don't know what you have. And I've said this many times with you, Jason, on the show, because you run into people that have these wonderful portfolios and they've saved for their entire working career and they feel like they're ready to go to retirement when they don't have a plan. Folks, you need to have, something down on paper. You need to work with a professional, have that roadmap to get you, not just to retirement, but through retirement. And as Jason has mentioned many times, in a safe way. If you are looking at your portfolio and you don't know your risk level, you could be in jeopardy. You just said it. I mean, there are many people that, on a big dip in the market, I mean, their retirement goes from rosy, to rotten. I mean, you really need to make sure you know how you're allocated. We talk about it on a weekly basis here on the program. Have a plan. Again, going over, dispelling these myths, excuses, justifications on why people just don't sit down and start mapping out a plan. And this is just out of fear, this next one. Too much uncertainty to properly plan for retirement. Markets up, markets down. I mean, people are nervous, so therefore they stay away. That's the reason. That's a big reason why you should sit down.
Yeah, there was a study that came across from Stanford Center for Longevity, right? So imagine what I'm doing on my weekends to come across this study, right? And they published a survey saying it was like 74% of respondents indicated that very rationale of the uncertainty to properly plan impacted their outlook on retirement planning. And this is what I would say the solution to this is that there's a lot of variables, of course, that could cause uncertainty when preparing for planning. But the planning process helps mitigate that uncertainty, those concerns, those worries, to help you establish a plan that brings more clarity to the issue. Hence the title of our show, Clear Picture Financial. We bake in variables of uncertainty, and we do that because I get surprised from my clients throughout the year with something that comes up. You know what we call that in our office? We call that living life. Things happen. Things happen to us, right? We're coming into the summer months and I had to get air coils in my air conditioning. You need those coils in your air conditioning in Charleston, South Carolina. $6,000 later, I was able to get the AC back in the house. That was not something that we planned for. We had to course correct and adjust. So if you're in retirement, how could I plan for that for you? How could you estimate that that's going to happen? But when it happens and we have a plan in place to address it, now we put a plan for the uncertainties. Go figure. You do what if scenarios and you're able to see how to offset those kind of risks.
All right, we've got a short stretch right here. I want to go ahead and give them the information. We have positions on the calendar, 10 of them. What's going to happen for these 10 lucky callers?
When you reach out, this is where we get to know you, the story of your money, where you are today, where you want to go, what are your goals, and what are your concerns. We cannot help anyone unless we know who they are. Once we get to know you through the core values meeting, that's when we start putting a plan in place. And we're looking at a lot of different factors. We're looking at your cash flow. We're looking at your taxes. We want to see if there's any ways that we could lower your taxes, put in more money in your pocket and less in Uncle Sam's. We're going to look at your retirement planning, where you want to make sure that you have a retirement income strategy that's in place with proven approaches and strategies that'll take the worry out of retirement and allow you to live in retirement the way that you want to live. This is where you have to take action, and it starts now.